Hi guys, Penny Rose Journals, how you doing? Okay, I have something a bit different today, a big book, a big ring-bound journal. Her name is Giana, and she has this really gorgeous, full of interesting threads and, yeah, just lovely tassel attached to her spine. You can just untie that, it's just simply tied on there in a bow. Yeah, but how gorgeous is that? It's just yum. Anyway, very simple construction. Two big rings holding her together. And yeah, she's just full of all sorts of stuff. Her cover is very simple. It is a piece of corrugated cardboard, just dressed up with whatever was lying around. Little bits of book spine here and there, a bit of wallpaper runner, a glue page, and some more corrugated card that has been covered in various napkins. So yeah, super simple. The inside of the cover, nothing. Yeah, just the corrugated card, just still with its cover on it. So her pages are old photo album pages. You used to get these photo albums with the plastic on them, and you would put the photos on, stick the plastic over it, would stick to these little ridges on here that are not sticky at all. I had a couple of these and I didn't know what to do with them, so I cut them down and made journals out of them. You can see the pages actually ran that way. This was the spine, it had a ring binding. I have just put little bits of fabric through all the little holes, so this gives her a bit of decoration at the top or bottom. So yeah, I have a lot of these pages. Her pages are bound in with fabric, a lot of them, which means they're not going to tear out. Doesn't matter what you do to them, pretty much, they're stuck there. So that has been sewn straight through the side of this page, so it is well secured. This is just a bit of collage. Yeah, there's some book page with lots of tissue over the top. Yeah, just a bit interesting, bit decorative. There is all sorts of things in here. I don't even know where this comes from. It comes from there. There we go. There's a little wooden tag, a little love heart on it. A pocket on this side, just with some pieces of ephemera tucked in. It's a big sort of journal space. A little faux envelope and another envelope that is not glued closed, so that you can journal in there if you wish, or you can glue it closed and use it to hold other items if you so desire. Just a book page pocket tucked in there. Here is file folder and a bit of a notepad stuck in there, so yeah, extra journal space. A little tiny pocket, a little tiny card in it, just hiding on that side to give you something cute to find. Some of the paper pages in here have just been reinforced with extra paper. I just glued it over the edge, punched the holes through that. It's like having a page protector, you know, the little reinforcing rings, but it's just an entire piece. So nothing matches anything in here. It is all very eclectic and bright and a bit crazed, but I like it. It's interesting. This is how my mind works. It's either completely neutral or it's everything. So yeah, take your pick. Another page. This is just made out of a piece of kooky paper, I think. Yeah, it's just been collaged on this side with some paper scraps, so you can write on it if you wish. On this side there's just a little pocket with a little tag. This is just a drop sheet for some dyeing I was doing. There's a few writing pages in here, and a few of these more decorative pages that you could always put paper over if you don't like the look of them. Yeah, stick photos to them, whatever you like. Mostly they're at least blank on one side to write on. It's a brown paper page, a few bits and pieces tucked into a pocket. I'm out of these rings now, which I'm quite sad about. I quite enjoy making these types of journals. I get to use lots of scraps when I'm reinforcing the edges and whatnot. So yeah, I quite enjoy these types of journals. But yeah, I only had a certain amount of these rings. I think I had probably 8 or something. I've got a couple of these journals. These are very similar to this one. This is a gardening book page with a bit of collage on it. Covered up most of the text so you can write, but left the images because they were pretty. Brown paper page. Another pocket on this side with lots of little bits of ephemera. There's a tag, little journal card that actually has a pocket and a couple little tags of its own. Another one of those faux envelopes, and 3 index cards that have been coffee dyed and stamped on. All of these pages in the centre are pretty much the same. They are just this beautiful coffee dyed thick paper, and it was a sketchbook, a very small sketchbook. I just pulled it apart and coffee dyed it, reinforced the edges like this and popped them all into here. There's a envelope made out of a book page with some napkin over the top. It's a bit tight because this page is so hard, so stiff. It's one of the photograph album pages, just with a couple of little journal spots and a cute little reproduction of a advertisement. Again, loads of different little fabrics tied through the top. You can always untie those, use them for other purposes. Tag toppers, they're nice and thick for tag toppers. Yeah, just handy little bits of fabric to use for whatever. I want to just leave them decorating the book. It's just a book page with some napkin pasted over the top, been collaged to write on the other side. Piece of scrapbook paper that I really did not enjoy, so I dyed it with inks, and there's some glittery stuff on there and stamping, and you can see on this side all of the inks and stuff have run through, but again, it's interesting to look at, and you can still write over that with no issue. Another one of those album pages. It just has a few things paper clipped, a couple of cards and a faux envelope paper clipped to the side. And on this side we have another one of those book page envelopes. This one has a card tucked behind it, as well as a few bits of ephemera on the inside. Piece of Chinese calligraphy paper. Another album page, cute little journal card with its own little tag. I love this thread, it's just beautiful. All the fibres coming out of it, and it's all very bright and cheerful. I only have one little ball of that, and I use it very sparingly because I'm going to be very sad when it's gone. Just a little journal tag. Button stuck down here. More fabric pieces tied on the top. And in the back we have a big journal card. We have an altered playing card, just a jumbo playing card. Another little tag. That's a pocket made out of a piece of wallpaper and some fabric scrap. Nice big piece of brown paper. It's just packaging paper. Another piece of that calligraphy paper. An ink drop sheet. Lots of overspray on there from other things. And this is the last page, which is just another one of those album pages. A few little things paper clipped on there. Another one of those cards with its own little tag. An envelope made out of a magazine page, just clipped on, and a tag tucked in the side. That's also been glued there. So, and the back cover is the same as the front. It's just a raw piece of corrugated card. And on the back we have another piece of this corrugated card that has the napkin pasted over the top. So yeah, very simple construction. That is what her spine looks like. It looks kind of cool, sitting on a bookshelf with this great big dangle hanging down. And this is how she sits. Even with all those little fabric bits underneath, she sits quite nicely on a bookshelf. She doesn't have much of a balance point, but you know, in amongst other books or with something pressed up against her, she sits on a bookshelf quite nicely. And this will dangle off of a bookshelf, but again, easy to undo. It's just tied on there in a bow, and you can take that off if you so desire. So yeah, that's Giana, and I love her. Like all my journals. I always finish up saying, I love this one. I love all my babies. Thanks for spending your time with me today, guys. I appreciate your company as I always do. I hope you have yourselves a great rest of your day, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.